Okay, Carol, I am here and I am well. Nice to see everybody. I'm going to kind of bookend my poems. I'm going to start with a free verse, continue through with rhyming, which I've grown to like quite a lot, and I'll finish with a free verse. And they'll kind of introduce themselves. If they need an introduction, I guess I'll try to give them one, although I don't really know where some of them came from. So this one's called Intrinsic Special Magic. I love to look through a rain-rippled car windshield at a seemingly make-believe world. There's a gloss and shine dripping from nature's wet brush, an intrinsic special magic woven into these moments in time. Everything moving stands still, and everything static seems to move. It's an interchangeable impossibility and a possibility ever-changing. Water is clear, transparent liquid. Raindrops are the same when they fall, but when they fall, they have momentary form. Water droplets falling from the sky, dissolving at the touch, like a wind-blown kiss that never arrives. Thank you. Now on to the rhymers. Hopefully people like rhyming poems. At one time I didn't, but I sure do now. Beautiful butterfly. The beautiful butterfly followed me along the shoreline. A beautiful butterfly of colorful design. How odd, I thought, on a day so hot, that a butterfly would follow the blue waterline. It started to flutter to and fro with every step, each stop and go, mostly drifting on my right-hand side as I walked the shallows of the incoming tide. As the day grew weary and I traveled on, I thought that butterfly would be long gone. But alas, it steadfastly stayed at my side as I walked the shallows of the incoming tide. I walked and I whispered to that butterfly of memories and dreams and days gone by. I was certain it was more than a mere insect, as it seemed to command my deepest respect. And then it hit me, out of the blue. Perhaps it was karma and someone I knew. I began humming a familiar song, and a hint of your essence sidled along. A beautiful butterfly followed me home. I knew you were here. I wasn't alone. Now each day I walk along the shoreline, my beautiful butterfly soft on my mind. Okay, and now the birds of prey. This is one I don't really know where it came from, but I was thinking about nighttime and it just kind of happened. A nightingale's copper voice was singing in the trees, serenading angels gliding on the breeze. A lonely robin's song announced the end of fall. Winter heard its voice and came running to its call. Under a haloed sky of approaching winter dawn, in a forest glade I saw a mother and her fawn, and carved into a cedar tree a woodpecker's profile, a beautiful acrylic painting in a surreal style. Then I saw the birds of prey flying wingless overhead, chanting in soft choruses to the newly dead. And I was wont to say the measure of the things I saw, bits of skeletons and bones that caused the crows to caw. A nightingale's copper cry echoed through the sky. The birds of prey were saddened, but they could not cry. They flew tearless through the night, their hearts engorged with pity. They flew wingless, lost in time, above the winter city. And they're gone, but not forgotten. This one's moving into, as I'm getting towards where I'm heading. This is called, actually it changed. First of all, I called it Eyes. And then as I reread it, years later, I thought, that's a stupid title. So now I've called it And I Wish. Sharpening the tooth of the tiger and gleaning the eye of the cat, cast in the shadow of a moonbeam, the rabbits caught in the rim of the hat. There comes a growl from the inner soul, heavy like anthracite, steel-laden coal, and I wish you were here in my heart, and I wish we were never apart. I sit in the amber glow of lost time, in its resonating rhythm and rhyme, sharpening the eye of the tiger and gleaning the eye of the cat. The eye of my soul is wet with tears, and I'm caught in the taut of the slack. And I wish you were here in my heart, and I wish we were never apart. Now, laying soft upon my heart. I like these heart poems. I read a lot about the heart, even though sometimes I wonder if I have one. Laying soft upon the heart. A glimpse of steel, a flash of train, silent on the endless track. And oh, that I could ride again the rails and not look back. But you still waltz across my mind, a tender, wistful melody. And in those moments lost, I find the music brings you back to me. We traveled light with heavy hearts and rusty throats that could not sing, victims of our own false starts, dragging winter into spring, holding on too tight, losing everything. I hold a ticket in my hand. The destination is unknown. I've crossed the line drawn in the sand, and love has long since flown. But still, you waltz across my mind, a mellow Monet work of art. And in those moments lost I find you laying soft upon my heart, a mellow Monet work of art, laying soft upon my heart. Yeah. This one is called Heaven's Sea. Who knows if heaven has a sea, but it probably does, because I think the Bible says on earth as it is in heaven, so there must be a sea there. Heaven's Sea. A distant water beckons me, close, but still too far away. I lie beneath a tall oak tree and listen as her branches sway. I visualize your tears and smiles, hazing through the fog and rain. And I would walk 100 miles if I could hold you once again. Inside the hearkening twilight, a lonely whisper beckons me to walk into the waiting light, to sail with you on heaven's sea. Amongst the lilacs where I lie, I offer them my wettest tears. And all the while, the fading sky above me slowly disappears. No need to walk 100 miles to hold you once again. I taste your tears and feel your smiles, calling me into the rain. I leave behind my written words, my paintings, and a melody. I shed my flesh to fly with birds and sail with you on heaven's sea, to hold you once again inside this sacred rain. Yeah. Whoever knew rain was sacred? I did. Okay, Deep Inside the Dream. This one actually, a friend of mine turned into a song, put some music to it, but it's a little bit different in the song. I'll read you the poem the way I wrote it. Deep inside the dream, cradled in the womb of time, I'm swaying on a quarter line. I walk this dream with hobbled feet down a dark and dusty street. Beneath a brackish crescent moon, I watch twilight crash into noon. And all the while, a silent song whispers as I travel on. It seems a quite familiar tune, reminds me of a night in June when I was summer in the fall, so far removed from winter's call. But now the days are losing light as I hold hands with pending night. Cradled in the womb of time, soliloquizing pantomime, soul unraveling at the seam, I am the dream deep inside the dream. I have one more rhymer, no, sorry, two more rhymers, and then the free verse, and that should get me out in 14 minutes and 30 seconds as I've timed myself so perfectly. This one's called Night's Beaujolais Wine. In the heartland glitter of sage and shine, night falls like dark red Beaujolais wine. Hiding the beauty and scent of the rose, the sky's eyes flutter and slowly close. Beneath the sudden descent of darkness, clouds fall to their knees and start to undress. A sacred vibration awakens the sky as throngs of angels slowly pass by. Then the night's dark Beaujolais wine ebbs away into the dawn of a sage and shine day. The dew on the rose fades, then disappears as the sun reaches down to dry her tears. Hazing above the horizon line, I flow in the wake of a smooth white wine. Swinging new songs, I sway with the old as the heat of the music abates and grows cold. Life on a string, spun then unspun, the days growing weary and coming undone. I've had my glory, my time in the sun. I've passed the baton, my race has been run. So long I've sojourned in life's lost and found. Now, moving through lights, music, and sound, I stand in the quick of night's Beaujolais wine, in awe of God's grandeur and noble design. My last rhymer coming up, and I'll just give this one a little introduction. I was in the hospital waiting for some kind of test, and I had my cane propped up against a mirror thing, and I was looking at it. It's quite a colorful cane. And then I thought, boy, that cane, when I'm gone, wouldn't it be neat if it could miss me? But I know it can't because it's inanimate. So this is how that poem came about, the imagination of, I'm called this the cane. A multicolored sparkling cane stands beside the open door. Will it ever walk again or stand alone forevermore? If only that bright cane could talk, would it speak of better days when they went on their morning walk? When she was not lost in a haze? The cane would ask, where has she gone? In tones despairing and bereft. I don't hear her familiar song, and I'm so lonely since she left. The universe would hear her cry and gently touch her handle grip and whisper in a trembling sigh with a tender lip. She's gone to heaven high above and won't be coming back again. She's wrapped inside God's tender love. She's happy now and has no pain. And if that sparkling cane could speak, it would say, God bless her soul. A tear would grace its shiny cheek. Nevermore would they stroll. The talking cane. And my last one. I quite like this one. It's different. I live a lot in unreality. Like reality isn't really my big key. Non-reality. So I call this blessed unreality. A sudden shiver, an abrupt pain, an awakening to a new circumstance. An empty glass awaiting fulfillment, followed by the tinkling of crushed ice against the sides of a cut crystal tumbler. I trace my bluish purple raised veins through the pathways of my life as the tide of its lowest ebb, as the eyes in my mind slowly close. I stumble over the cliff of one of memory's hidden scars, the residue of a war lost, recalled as a victory. It slowly slides away on a film of deception, and I choose to believe it's true as I forge the delusion in fire. I conjure up a brand new image beyond imagination and imagine it to be true. This is a moment, an hour, a week, month, and year in the life of a poet, walking a tangled wire on the coveted path of blessed unreality. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I really appreciate it.